So, a little bit on the road, like I said last time. I kind of began the trip towards Redewitz for the nationals, and yeah, currently doing some stops and whatever. But in the meantime, I wanted to give just a little bit of a reaction update, or call it however you want to. Yeah, just my thoughts on the King of the Table, the Michael versus Devon match, especially. Yeah, I wanted to do this ever since the weekend, but unfortunately, I was already kind of like on the road. So I watched just bits and pieces and whatever, but I didn't have the time to make like a video or whatever. So here it is. So let's get right into it. To be honest, when I first heard about this match, Michael first had Levon, and Devon was supporting him and whatever, and then that dropped, and Michael went for Devon actually as a replacement. Everyone knows the story. To be honest, because of Devon's health issues with the DVT, I had some doubts that he would be able to actually make it on time to really touch any sort of a peak performance condition. Let's put it like this. And for that reason alone, I was putting the odds something like 60-40 in Michael's favor, if not even more, like 65-35 or something like this. Probably worst case scenario, something like 70-30. But let's say realistically 60-40. Now, on any given day, if they're both training and healthy and whatever, we all know that it's very, very close and very hard to decide. So by default, it would be like 50-50. But when things happen around the event, you tend to sway one way or the other. And this time, like I said, I was about 60-40 in Michael's favor. But then, as I watched Devon's progression and evolution leading into the match, things started to change a little bit. I saw him gaining the necessary weight. Well, not necessary in the sense that he would have needed to absolutely be a bigger person in order to defeat Michael. That's not necessarily the case. We know that they have a long history where they pinned each other at different weights, so that wasn't necessarily something he had to do on paper, at least. I have some pigeons on my window. Okay. So yeah. I saw that he was gaining the weight, but in my opinion, with Devon's way of gaining weight, as he kind of did it a few times already over the past couple of years, one thing that kind of reminded me of was the Wagner match with Bordolato, and I remember back then Devon was kind of starting to have these weight gain crazy phases going on, and everyone was speculating whether or not this would transition on the table. In my opinion, and I said it back then, that in my opinion that would not translate as much on the table, especially since those were kind of like his beginning, his very first weight gain cycles, whatever. Don't equate the word cycle with something else, but you kind of get what I'm saying. It's he was just starting to go on these 270 pound version of a Devon that we never saw before. So, in my opinion, the body, no matter how big of a frame you have, how big it is, just because you can feel it at one point doesn't necessarily translate. You need a solid couple of years in order for that weight to actually mature on you to kind of translate into tendons, ligaments, muscle, all the connective tissue, all the nerve, the central nervous connections, the central nervous system connections actually evolving as well into the new tissue and being able to recruit those muscle fibers and whatnot. So back then with Bortolato, although he was successful, in my opinion, he was really way overweight compared to his performance. So all that weight on top of him didn't really help that much for the reasons that I just mentioned. And like I said, when you gain that weight, you need quite a couple of years to kind of settle it in terms of every aspect that contributes to one's performance. Now going back to present time, apparently what he did right now, also exceeding his past peak. This kind of proves my theory because like he already has two solid like 2 to 3 years since like let's say around 2018, 2019. So on one hand, that weight matured on him. On the other hand, he also gained kind of like 15, 20 more pounds. And I don't know. I really was not expecting like this type of a dominating thing. Like obviously everyone was saying, is really Devon that much powerful now, or is Michael really that unprepared? Obviously, it might be a combination of both, but in my opinion, Michael had no reason not to be prepared, and also showed no doubt in his mind up until like the meet and greet and whatever. There was like no doubt in his mind that he will actually win. That's why he picked Devon, just like Devon said. He probably picked him because he was a kind of like an easy target with his health condition and whatever. But things kind of went a little bit over what he expected and anticipated, and now he probably was regretting it. But to be honest, I think that Michael was at his best in terms of shape, physical shape, and condition. But the reason why I'm saying physical is because I think that, honestly, he was a bit morally or mentally, psychologically devastated when he kind of saw that level that Devon brought. Just overall looks and confidence and mind game, whatever you want to call it. But in my opinion, I did not see a Michael that opposed Devon. All I saw was a Michael who kind of acknowledged internally for himself that he had no chance. He just wanted to put on a good show and not go home completely defeated and, I don't know, I guess humiliated or whatever, although that wouldn't have been the case. But still, I saw Devon completely demolishing Michael on the table because of something that did not or no longer clicked within Michael's psyche. So I'm not sure what you guys think about this, but in my opinion, this is probably the biggest factor to consider. And really, I would like to hear about your opinion on this match. But again, for me, all I saw was like Michael was just laughing and kind of having a face like, y'all know it's gonna happen. So yeah, he was almost like a spectator, just in shock of what he was seeing coming from Devon. He was he was almost kind of like admiring and I don't know, giving Devon the thumbs up for being able to destroy him even before they gripped hands. Which, yeah, psychologically for an athlete is devastating. But I guess he had like a hard switch. He didn't go like from confidence to completely non-confident over a period of whatever. I saw him thinking, he's kind of like the king of the hill. Ooh, shit. Good luck next season. That's kind of how I felt him through the screen, right? So he was almost like fanboying Devon after what he saw. His face, I can't say reminds me because that still hasn't happened yet, but his face to me looked like, I mean, Michael's face looked like the face that I or anyone else would have when we would grip up with one of these guys from the top. We would just be like, hey, it's an honor. Please don't hurt my hand. Let's see what I got. Give me some pointers and let me go back home happy. That's kind of like how I saw things. Maybe I saw them in a bit of an exaggerated light. Maybe that's just my opinion, but that's what I'm saying. I have no idea. Please let me know what you guys also think, because for me that's really interesting. I haven't seen yet some of the reactions on the internet. I have them saved for watch later, precisely because I didn't want to be biased towards this whole thing. I wanted to give my honest feedback first, and I saw that Levon made a reaction. I want to see it. Matt Mask has a reaction. Devon and Michael, I think they also had kind of like some afterthoughts on this, and many other people. But yeah, they're on my to-do list right after I close this video. In the meantime, like I said, I wanted to give you like a fresh, uncorrupted perspective. But yeah, to be honest, that was quite a show. Michael predicted 6-0. It was indeed like that, just not the way he expected it. And also, they had that after pull with Schoolboy. Granted, it was with the left, but still, we know, like Devon jokes about, Michael's left is trash, but still, as a number one title holder and holding so many hammers and whatever, your level should be a little bit more consistent when it comes to left versus right, in my opinion. And also, you should still show some signs of a gap, or I don't want to say dominance, but just a little bit of a level difference when it comes to like B or C grade pullers. Like, for example, Schoolboy. And when I'm calling Schoolboy a B or C grade puller, I'm not knocking on the guy's level or hard work. I'm just saying, he's fairly new to the game. Yes, he's the famous guy on YouTube, arm wrestling people down in on the streets of New York and whatever. And he's a very, very powerful and big individual. But still, he's just at the beginning of his career. I mean, he'll be an elite A-grade puller within a couple of years. I'm pretty sure. But that's why I'm saying he's just a very good, let's say, youngster with a whole bright future ahead of him. So when it comes to guys like Schoolboy grabbing Michael, still, I would not. I mean, I wouldn't expect Michael to just be trashed so easily by Schoolboy. I mean, what's next? Larry and Coach Ray and everyone else just pinning Michael left and right. I mean, it's a little bit weird. Maybe that can reopen the discussion whether or not Michael was at his peak performance. But again, just judging by his actions and the confidence that he had going into the match and challenging Devon and thinking that he's absolutely the clear favorite and so on and so forth. I mean, Michael is kind of like the type of a guy, although I don't know him, I do not know him personally, but he's the type of guy who would probably try to postpone things or not rush into things so much if he would have any serious reason to doubt his performance, right? I mean, him and Travis are kind of like they like to be like entertaining, loudmouth athletes who like to put on a good show, and they like to be the clear dominant force on the table. So I'm expecting if anything goes wrong for them to have any sort of injury or whatever, they would probably bitch out 2 months prior to the event and make a whole big deal out of it, just so that people know in case something happens, they lost because they weren't at their best, or like I said, maybe not even holding the event and pushing it a bit later till it makes sense. So yeah, I guess we kind of all know this because they both say that it doesn't even matter how much they want to win this thing. What matters most for them is the idea of how much they hate losing. So for guys with these type of attributes, let's say, I would imagine they would have said something. I mean, Michael in this case, he would have said something if he wouldn't have felt like he's the clear dominant force. But again, I have no idea. I'm just putting it out there, and I would really like to hear from you guys chiming in and let me know what you guys think. In the meantime, I'll continue my journey towards the Nationals, where we have John Brzenk and Engin Terzi as special guests. Who knows if I have the chance to have a little bit of a talk with either of them. I'll probably very shortly ask them what their opinion is on the Michael versus Devon match. I'm pretty sure they watched it. There's no way in hell they would have missed it. So I'm really intrigued and curious for this whole event. Let's see what's gonna happen next within the next few days when we need to go there. And yeah, I'll keep you guys updated whenever I can. But yeah, please do let me know what you guys think about this match that happened with the King of the Table. I didn't touch any of the other two matches, which for me were pretty obvious that they would go this way. And yeah, especially about Larry, we kind of saw the most recent hype where where Larry was pinning guys left and right in Dubai in preparation for this upcoming match. Everyone was thinking that he leveled up tremendously. I have no doubt he did, but again, when it comes to real arm wrestlers, it'll take more than just leveling up from where you were a few months ago in order to have any significant chance. The gap is way too big. Watch my one of my previous videos from the beginning of this channel, which is called something like the condensed gap phenomena. I talked about this in great detail. But yeah, I pretty much expected Larry to still be dominated by Schoolboy. Probably within, let's be realistic here, within 2 years. Yeah, 2 years is what I would give Larry to be a force to be reckoned with. If he has the same trajectory as he had up until now, within 2 solid years of training specifically for arm wrestling and competing, because it's not just training, right? He needs to have a lot of practice on the table, and not just on the table like in Dubai or whatever. He needs to have competition grade, matches. If he has this and he subjects himself to such experiences for a prolonged number of seasons, like 2, 3, 4, 5 seasons, whatever. Like I said, about 2 years is what I give him before he really starts becoming unstoppable if he plays his cards right. Let's see how it goes. In the meantime, I'll let you guys go because my colors right here are going black because it's super cloudy outside and there's not enough light. Shitty weather, shitty weather and raining and whatever. But let me know what you guys thought. And until next time, I'm out. Let's see if I can close this.